Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This week we're exploring the Red Trail at a popular Welsh trail centre. Today I'm at One Planet Adventure in Llandegla. Home to a whole host of mountain bike fun, there's plenty here for us to explore. So I grabbed my full sus and got stuck in. Check this out. To get to the start of the Red Trail, you first have to navigate a long uphill climb. This initial climb is around 30 minutes long. Well, it was today in the heat, but it's a pretty easy and gradual climb. Once you reach the top, the first downhill section is a blast along the Blue Trail. It's a nice gentle downhill, but it's great to feel the breeze after that hot climb. This blue section is a good introduction to the trail centre and great to get you into the rhythm of descending again. There's nothing technical to catch you out on here, just a good, honest flow trail. Despite the hot, dry weather, the trail didn't feel too loose, but it might do later on when we find some more technical riding. Towards the end of this section, the blue turns to the right, but we're going to keep going straight on to the red. This trail takes you on a series of longer and more technical challenges designed for the experienced rider. It has some more technical climbs and steeper downhills that take you through some of the more remote sections of the forest. When I think of Llandegla, I think of an old school Welsh trail centre. This place is a well-established mountain bike destination with well-known trails that were built a long time ago. In some places this can be a bad thing, because the trails fall behind the times and are no longer challenging. But not here. These mountain bike trails feel like they have a good mix of uphills, descents, features and flow trail. And sections like this one are a great example of exactly that. It doesn't have anything huge by today's standards, but it's a great section. And it's fast enough to make you concentrate. It cuts an interesting line through the forest, has a couple of turns, and even a couple of rock jumps to spice things up a bit. Trails like this tend to undulate, so you get a nice section of descent, followed by a little bit of climbing. But with this trail, it's awesome to know that you've already done the lion's share of the climbing. So from the moment you drop in, there's plenty more downhill than there is up. Which sounds good to me. Of course, it's difficult to condense a 90-minute trail ride into an 8-minute video, so I'm just going to be showing you some of my favourite parts. So, what are you going to find on this trail? Well, there's a whole series of flowing descents spread across the hillside. You'll find berms, rock rolls, some steep climbs, flowing sections, and you'll even find a couple of jumps. The Red Trail is definitely a challenge you're going to need a good level of fitness for. In addition to the 30-minute initial climb from the car park, there are plenty of other sections of climbing, some which are quite technical. In total, the trail is 15 kilometers long and can take around an hour and a half depending on your riding. To me, this feels like a great mountain adventure ride. I really enjoy the variety of terrain this trail has. These little rollers and jumps are great to play on. One minute you're flowing through a nice piece of single track full of lumps and bumps, the next you're going full tilt down the side of a hill, only to find that you're then being taken over some short rock features. I mean, you want to talk about variation? This trail has it. When you reach this awesome fast section of trail, you're somewhere around the halfway mark in the descent. This is where the newer red Michelin section joins the blue and the red trails together. This section feels a bit more quick fire than some of the others. It's steeper than it looks and has a couple of rocks hiding around the corners. Seeing as a lot of this trail is quite leisurely, it was nice to have something a bit more involved. After this nice flowing section, I found myself climbing in the blazing sun once again. So this is a great reminder that you really do need to think about bringing adequate water, snacks and tools for repairs. At regular points along the trail, you have the option to join the black trails. These are a lot of fun and add an extra little spice to your ride. It is worth noting that you can add an extra half an hour or so to your time if you want to ride the black trails. But regardless of the colour trail you're riding, it has to be said that the scenery here is top notch, and if you can spare a minute, it's definitely worth stopping to admire the view. But if you don't have time for that, there are more fun features just around the corner that you can get stuck into. to be honest, you're never too far away from something interesting to ride. Usually at this point of the trail there's a fun piece of descent and a long wooden boardwalk feature. However, today this section was closed for repairs, so I just ended up following diversion signs. It's always gutting when you have to miss out a section of trail, but as far as diversions go, this one wasn't too bad. So, although I had to miss out on an exciting section, this one was pretty good. And also, the good news, I got to miss out on the huge climb afterwards too, which is a good thing in this heat, because this heat makes climbing tough. So I'm currently following the red trail diversion signs. It's blistering hot and I'm just pushing up this hill, but can't complain, good weather, let's keep it going. Rejoining the trail at the top of the horrid climb, I was met with a bit more flow trail, something nice and flowy to help rest the legs a bit. At this point, most of the trail is behind you, but there are still some great descents to come, including what I think may be my favourite section of the whole trail, which is a bold statement to make when you're riding such a long and varied trail, but you want to make sure you've saved enough energy for this next section. This sounds promising. This section starts at the nuke-proof sign and rolls its way all the way back down to the trail centre. It's worth buckling your seatbelt because this section gets fast. So here we go.
Oh, look at that view!
With all the speed you get from this section, luckily the features are nice and subtle, which is good because there's a pretty serious drop down to your left and you wouldn't want to overshoot a jump. It's easy to see why I think this is the best descent section on the trail. As well as being fast and having a number of jumps to play on, this section also has a couple of surprises, like this jump into a rock garden. It's amazing to think that after an hour and a half of riding, as soon as you're heading downhill, you completely forget about all the painstaking climbs that you've just had to do. Your aching legs and sore backside fade into nothing.
It's so scary, I can't see what's coming around the next corner. Could be anything.
Yeah, it really could be anything. Although the trail isn't trying to catch you out, there are a good variety of features spread across the trail, and you never really know what's coming next. But as you enter the final woodland at the bottom, your time on the trail is almost over. Your final little climb leads you up to the car park and back to the trail centre. So for anyone looking for a good ride in the hills, this trail is for you. There's nothing amazingly technical, but I found the whole thing really enjoyable. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget that Bike and Beyond is on Instagram and all the socials too. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.